welcome back to the Collapse Experiment. This is kind of a bonus video that I decided to do because all I keep hearing about is the stock market. The stock market. The thing I am not concerned about because even my own dinky little 401k that I haven't looked at in the last 3 years is actually in the Asian markets. Because if there's one thing I learned 2008, 2009, when that whole dump took place, was that the Asian markets, for some reason, even when China's stock market took a huge freaking dump, for one, what did they do? Well, the government stepped in right away, devalued their currency, dumped a bunch of it into the stock market, raising it back up to the previous levels. Then they adjusted the rate of their currency back to where it was beforehand, and everything just kept on cruising like nothing happened. Meanwhile, in the United States, President George W. Bush had to meet with Congress and a bunch of other people, and then he met with Wall Street that handed him one piece of paper stating what they wanted. And then Congress had to meet and write a bill and write another bill and tinker around with that bill, and eventually they passed something. Now, out of the two, if you had to worry about a stock market crash, which one would you worry about more? So, call me anti-American, whatever. I don't really give a shit. What I care about is making sure that my money is safe, and I do not trust the way that our fucking government functions one iota. And I'm not even talking about the president. I'm talking about the other dickheads that just roam around with their free health care, somehow making 7-8 figures out of a low ball six-figure income consistently for decades. I don't trust them at all. So, what is currently happening? Well, apparently last Friday, the stock market took a huge dump. It is currently at 37,000, and last I heard, like it topped out at 44,000. So, it is currently down 859 points. I heard over the weekend it dropped even more. I don't really see all that much news-wise as to covering the week. It's all about the last couple of hours on here. So the S&P is down, NASDAQ is down, New York Stock Exchange Composite is down. Seems like everything is but then you look at the percentage and it just doesn't seem that bad. Yeah, it's 859 points. 2%. It's down 2%, which to me is not a whole hell of a lot, right? Like, people are freaking out about a 2% drop. You understand? So yeah, let's look at, now this is for the last day. Let's look at the last 5 days. Okay, so it was at just under 42,000. So I was wrong. And now it's just under 38. So it's dropped about 4,000 points? Is that where we're going by now? So yeah, things are dropping. People are losing money, as they tend to do in these situations. I kind of had that nostalgic feeling of back in 2008 when all the doctors and all the nurses with their 401ks are running around like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to figure out in a panic what to do. And a lot of these idiots, and yes, they are idiots. I don't give a shit what your profession is, what your degree is in. The fact that you sold when it was down makes you a fucking moron. And people do this stupid shit all the time. If I was still talking to my parents, I would be suggesting right now that, considering this is down in the 37 bracket, whatever reliable stocks, and I'm saying reliable as in like well-established companies that odds are they're not going to go bankrupt anytime soon, right? If those stocks are down, perhaps you should consider buying some of them now because eventually they'll go back up when this is all over. But no, I'm a fucking retard, as I've been told many times over the years by certain people, and I don't know what I'm talking about because if it's dropping, it's doing bad. You buy it when it's doing good, which means it's high. According to these people, you're supposed to buy it when it's high, which is exactly the time that you want to sell the stock. If you don't think it's going to go any higher, you sell it and you take that money that you just made from that profit and you put that into other things to continue making more money. But no, I'm just a fucking idiot. Why people spent money for me to go to highly prestigious private schools when I'm just considered a dumb shit afterwards, I don't fucking know. But apparently, that's how I was viewed. So let's look at some of the news headlines here. We've got stocks plummet as global markets feel the impact of Trump's tariffs. I'm okay with that. Dow Jones today, stocks slide and volatile trading as the market row continues. Worst stock market days in history. And that's from Fox News. That's kind of surprising. Stock market today, Dow drops 1,000 points, S&P 500, NASDAQ down sharply. Dow falls 700 points. This is 11 minutes ago. So apparently it's ticked back up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if the Federal Reserve is money printer going burr and buying a bunch of shit to add to their horrible portfolio. Yeah, S&P 500 teeters near bear market. Oh, it's teetering near a bear market. Oh no. As Trump threatens higher tariffs. U.S. stock market live. Dow Jones falls 950 points after Trump threatens more tariffs. Keep doing the tariffs, because I don't give a shit about these people. Today's market, S&P 500 sinks 2%. 2%. They're crying over 2%. That is hilarious. So yeah, it's been quite a day and it's not even noon. Let's see what Market Watch has to say, shall we? Okay, where is the article? Come on. You can do it. Hello? Is that seriously it? It's just a tweet? Market Watch, what are you doing? Where is the article? S&P 500 has declined 4.7%, rallied 8.4%, plunged 5.45%, bounced 3.1%, and dropped 1.5%, and the market has been open for less than 2 hours. Sounds like an exciting day. And again, I still could not care less. So yeah, hopefully whatever goes in my 401k in the near future will buy more stock and at a cheaper price and add to that rebound. What other articles do we have? Let's take a look at this Fox News and see what they have to say, which probably isn't much of anything. Worst stock market days in history. President Trump's tariff announcement last week roiled global trade and plummeted markets. Yeah, don't mess with us. The U.S. markets had their worst week since the COVID pandemic hit in March of 2020. Okay. The day the U.S. stock market took its biggest hit still dates back to Black Monday, 1987. Well, at least somebody is keeping things in perspective here. President Donald Trump's tariff hikes announced last week continue to roil global trade. I think that might be a link to another article. Last week's plunge in the U.S. stock market is among the steepest in the last decade, but the day the stock market took the biggest hit dates back to the 80s. Here's a look back. Is this really an article? Like, what is this? And it's basically going over other stock market crashes. 87 was the big one. And 2020, 2019 is number 3. And then it goes into 2008, 87, March of 2020, 97. So that's probably what, the dot-com bubble getting ready to pop there. And then April 3rd, 2025 is at the very, very bottom. It's not even close to anything previously that had happened, according to this. And it's going by percentage. It's not going by how many points it dropped. It's going by the percentage of how big of a hit it took. And in 87, the S&P was at just over 20%. And like 23% for the Dow Jones Industrial. It dropped 23%. Friday was 4%. And everybody is shitting their pants, having a panic. What are we gonna do? Should we start jumping out of buildings? And it goes into the history of all the other stock market crashes. So yeah, the news just trying to make everybody fearful. Saturday, you had all these protests out there, which, give me a freaking break. Between this and the protests, they're trying to get people roiled up, but the protests were unorganized. They didn't know what the hell they were protesting. And then you have this stock market crash where nothing is really happening here. Numbers are going down. Oh no. So anyways, I'm sure that they'll take this as an opportunity to fire more people and lay people off, and they'll just keep ruining the economy. Because why wouldn't they? People will still get their bonuses, even though performance will be down by management and corporate. But they'll still get their bonuses and their yachts, and the world will be fine. Keep on.